Allora, ciao di nuovo tutti. Hello again, everybody. I wanted to offer one last little batch of tips to help you sort of maximize your experience and take advantage of the opportunity while you're traveling. And that is actually my first piece of advice: is take advantage of the opportunity. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Um, you should be, to the extent possible, exploring when you're there. You have a decent amount of free time. I built that into the course on purpose. I want you to explore the local environment. Rome is a very safe city. Again, as I've said before, really your only concern is pickpocketing. Just make sure you go out with other people, right? So when you have your time off in the evening, find a group of folks that want to go out and explore, and just go out and explore. Now you can make a plan. What I like to do is say, well, I want to go here and here, and then the journey is the journey, right? Like the journey is part of the experience, and so walk to that place, whether it's to go to the piazza in front of the Vatican at night, which I highly recommend you do once. It's just beautiful. That's kind of lit up, and it's a really neat thing just to go there in front of the Vatican. So walk to the Vatican. On the way, you'll see this and that. Like take a right, take a left. Like get a little bit lost. You have your Google Maps, and explore. Just go out with other people. There's just so much to see and do in Rome, and then Cabanico. It's a smaller town. There's not a lot to do. Um, there's a little bit of a town. Really, most of the time in Cabanico you'll probably spend on the farm, like sort of hanging out with each other. That's what we did last time. Then Salerno again. I don't know Salerno very well at all. I would talk to SAI about them. It's safe like Rome, but it's not quite as trafficked with tourists. So you might want to ask about the best areas to go in Salerno. Although it's not like there's a bunch of crime there or anything. It's a little different than Rome. So you definitely want to talk to SAI about that. But you really only have the 2 evenings in Salerno anyway. So take advantage of the opportunity. It's easy to sort of like you get there and you're like, oh, I have all this time. I have like 8 or 9 days or whatever. Um, but I want you to think like, okay, I'm here in Italy now. Like I want to explore now. So take advantage of the opportunity when you're there. The one thing you don't want to do, and again, I'm speaking from experience, is you come back from your travel and say to yourself, wow, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have tried that, or I thought about going to this place, but I didn't. And now you're back in the United States, and hopefully you'll be over in Italy again soon. But chances are it'll be a while, if and when you go back. And so you want to take advantage of the time that you have now. Just now is the time. So that's, I think, a really important piece of advice. Sort of do what you can to take advantage of the opportunity of being there. I know I've said this before, but I can't stress this enough. Italian culture is a little bit different. It's okay to be like late, just in general. People take their time. You go out to a restaurant, and it takes a while for the waiter or waitress to come up. Then it takes a little while for them to come back. And I was, again, speaking from experience, when I was there over spring break, I was kind of like, wow, it's like, where is where is the waiter? And I can see like the waiter walking around, but he's not coming back to our table. And it's part of the experience. Meals can take hours and hours. Now, last time we were there with this, I was there with students, and we would have like, it wasn't unusual to have a 2 to 4 hour meal. So just if that's happening and you're waiting in a long line, or you're waiting a long time for a meal, or you're just waiting for someone to show up, or waiting for a bus, whatever, instead of focusing on like, man, what's going on here? Like, why is this long line? Like, look how long this line. Like, instead of focusing on that, just focus on being present with the people around you. Look around you, right? Like, look where you are. It's an amazing, you're an amazing place. And sort of soak it all in, and talk to your newfound friends here. And you just need to learn to be patient and be present as much as possible. And if you think about it, that's really kind of a permaculture principle. If you remember, we talked about permaculture. And one of the principles is to turn problems into solutions. And I try to think about that as much as possible. You're waiting in line, that's could be considered a problem, right? Like you want to get somewhere, you want to do something, turn that into a solution. Now you're waiting, so you have all this extra time. It's like, all right, well, let me talk to to the people around me. So certainly taking advantage of that time and sort of flipping it on its head and say, look, I have to wait a long time. Let's just enjoy each other's company. In addition, you have your prescribed itinerary from SAI and the ones that we've worked out. It's possible that will change at the last minute, like a minor change. And just be prepared for that. I mean, it has happened before on various international trips that I've taken students on. So sometimes that happens. So just kind of go with the flow. Also, if you go out and you plan to go to a restaurant or a store or a museum or whatever, they could randomly close. I mean, it happens. It's happened to me a number of times. And so again, just be prepared, just be patient, and take advantage of the opportunity. Now if you had planned to go to a museum or whatever, it's closed. Take advantage of that extra time that you have to do something else. Okay. So again, just be patient, and be present, and just take advantage of the time that you're there. And finally, be kind and respectful. This to everybody, right? To your fellow students, to your instructors, to everyone you meet, to all the programming folks, to all the SAI folks. I know it sounds a little bit heavy, but you are in some ways representing the United States and of course Delaware Tech. Some of these folks, they don't have very many interactions with people from the States or certainly from Delaware Tech. And so, you're half an hour, couple days with them, whatever the case may be, the time you spend with them, that's all they know of you. Remember, that's all they know about you. So when you're there, when you're with them, just demonstrate that you are very kind and you're respectful and you're engaging and you're inquisitive and so forth. I would love it for when you all come back, for all of the folks to say, like SI to say, wow, what a great, respectful group they were. They were so nice, so kind. The people, the presenters and the guy on the farm, they just loved having you there. And it's great for, Delaware Tech's reputation, for this reputation of the United States and like young people in the United States. And for what it's worth, it is helpful to us, because we want to keep offering this experience to future students. If you walk away providing a really good impression of Delaware Tech, it helps us in the future, because then when we say, hey, we want to set up another, experience, that like, yeah, it was great, you were great last time, and it just helps us down the road. And who knows, maybe you'll head back to Italy someday and you'll want to go to that same farm, or you want to go to that same hotel or hostel or whatever. It helps for you to be like, yeah, I was here a couple of years ago. Like, oh yeah, I remember you. You were, that was great. You were a really great group, and etc. I mean, you just never know, both for unselfish and sort of selfish reasons, what benefits you will reap by just being really respectful and overall providing a good impression of Delaware Tech in the U.S. Okay, so with that, I bid you salute, which is basically the Italian version of cheers. It means to your health. So there's a couple of different toasts. There's salute, di salute, well, not really di salute. Salute, cin cin, cent'anni means 100 years. So, but anyway, you can always say salute. So salute to you, buon viaggio. That means have a good trip. I'm really excited for you all. I can't wait to hear all about it when you come back. And as I said before, feel free to reach out when you're there. Keep that WhatsApp chat going. Feel free to post pictures and so forth. That's up to you. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm here to help if I can. But as I said before, you're in really good hands with Noah and Tara. But anyway, I'll see you all when you get back.